I am live. Am I alive? Yes, I am alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Dum, 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 dum. I am alive. Hi, Gail. How are ya? I'm alive and well. Well. Finally kicked the vid in the ass and it's gone. Gone. I hope it stays gone. It's supposed to be immune now for a while. So how you doing? How is your knee doing? Are you still PTing it? Yeah, me too. Yep. You should be almost done with PT, right? Was it usually 6 weeks after surgery? Hi, Brenda. Yeah, well, it's more normal, as normal as I can be. Okay, you just finished it last Thursday. Okay, that's great. Hi, Dar. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Hi, Tori. Thanks for stopping by. It's hot here in Florida. Hot. It's 92, but feels like 102. However, it's 78 in my house, so it's all good. Can you imagine living in Florida before air conditioning? People actually did live here before air conditioning. 10 weeks of P2 post-op. Okay, 10 weeks. Yeah. I guess that's, yeah. I had both my knees done. And yeah, that was I had the bend. You had the bendy thing too, the thing that bends your knee in the circulating cold water. You had all the modern things. But yeah, I'm glad it's doing well. My niece actually talked her doctor into doing both knees at the same time. CPM, right? Passive something movement, right? Continuous passive movement. Hi, Stacy. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Wow, so nice to see all of you. Don't normally. Oh, okay, I got it right. All righty. Well, I was kind of apparently I signed up for and paid for. No, I forgot the name of it. Not the Good Life. Oh my God. And it's the willow.com. It's not it's the life, Good Life. Is it the Good Life? I don't know. And no, I've signed up for fodder school too. Hi, Candy. I've got to stop signing up for this stuff. I can't remember. Oh, Life Book. Thank you, Brenda. Not the Good Life. Life Book. Yes. And apparently I saved the password and it worked. And I was starting to look around at that. And this is Life Book from 2020, from 3 years ago. And of course, art never really, there's no expiration date on art. I mean, it's timeless. And this was a whole year's worth. So there's a whole bunch of lessons and bonus lessons. So I started kind of looking through them. Yeah, I do too. Because she just had this is the end of that Tasters Week where they had the free taste of Life Book 2023. And that's what kind of, got me looking. And I didn't realize that I had gotten it, but it's still there and it's still good. Hi, Barb. So that's nice. It's still working and all of the links work. And so I was looking at a couple of them and I started, one was like really intriguing, which I started. And hi, Janice. And I'm not going to be able to, it'll be a while it's one of those things that's going to take a couple of days because it involves clay, the air dry clay. Hi, Sherry. Nice to see you. And she said, "Oh, go, you can start, moving around in an hour." And no, 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 no. And I had this out in the porch where it's like 83 degrees in the sun, and it's not set yet. Um, so I will pack, but I'll show you. She called it her laugh bowl, and it was lesson week 10 from the 2020 life book. And I took a picture of what it looks like at the end. And it uses that air dry clay that I bought a couple of years ago. And I thought it was going to be hard as a rock. And it was like at the top of it, but when I got further down into it, it was pretty pliable. And then I went online. Hi, Beth. Good to see you. They played a lot of games at Beth's last night. Some interesting games, I have to say. Hi, Kelly. And I went online to see how you revive it, and because if you add water, then you got to wait overnight. And I wanted to do it now, and I didn't wait overnight. But anyway, this is what it looks like when it's done, and it's really cool. And this is the clay, and she stamped in the word "laugh." And these little discs here are shrink. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Linda. Lydia. Teresa. Hi. And this is shrunken plastic. Isn't it gorgeous? Shrunken plastic. And this was shrunken bits of plastic that she turned into a flower. And then she's got some beads in here. And she painted it. And once it's set, she painted it with gray paint. I would probably use Payne's Gray. And mine's not perfectly round. And I made 3 of them, but I'll show you the one that might possibly survive and end up being somewhat finished. So this is where I am at. Oops. So far. So it'll be a bit of a lopsided bowl. And then these will have the shrunk plastic in, and then you suspend that. These little holes here, you suspend the plastic. And then you fill these little indentions, which she did those with embossing powder. And so I left the edges rough. I probably should have. And I've got 2 others out on the porch. But this is far from dry. You can see it's still gray. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool when it's done. I mean, I love the picture. And I have a whole bunch of these beady things that I bought. I never knew what the heck I was gonna do with them. And I don't have that plastic stuff, but I have acrylic. I'm thinking, right? You can shrink acrylic, and I was wondering whether I could shrink like soda pop plastic bottles, whether you can shrink that, or is that too thin? But I might mess around with that. I've got like a Canada Dry ginger ale bottle, which is already green. And apparently you can use alcohol markers on the plastic to get some color on it. So I'm going to be messing around with that. And hopefully, yeah, I think I'll be able to finish this. But I can't really do, oh, okay. Tony, oh, I knew you were going to ask me. Tony, I think it's Tony Henry. It was week 10, and it was called Bowl of Laughter on the 2022 Life Book. Kathy Arbor knows the number. I forget. Oh, there's a certain recycle number that only works. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. I know you can buy sheets of plastic that's meant to be shrunk. But yeah, there were fumes. Yeah. She did it with a heat gun. Okay, from a bottle. Okay. Sequins. Yeah, the woman that Tony Henry, and I think it's Toni. I somehow, sometimes when you remember something, I can visualize the name on the thing. Could be totally wrong. Shrinky Dink, yeah. But I'm going to try that and, and see what happens. And I'll put some beads in here and suspend those and paint it. And so next week, hopefully, I'll have a bowl of sorts. And I have two others out there that are in really bad shape. You Googled it. Okay. Thanks. And this is probably, hi, Becca. The DAS air clay, what I have. Hi, Chris. What I have left is still, it's pretty pliable, and I could probably make some more. When I bought that, I thought I would never ever use. I actually bought it to make the little cookie jars for my Winnie the Pooh diorama. I made a Winnie the Pooh kind of diorama, and I made the little honey pots out of this clay, and you can just little, and I figured I'd never use it. Then I did roll it out, and I bought Christmas cookie cutters, and I made Christmas ornaments out of it. But okay, it's only lids from milk bottles and others that have this number, I think. Okay, well, I do have regular, like, acetate, sheets of acetate that I could probably try. I could color with the alcohol markers. But anyway, we'll have to tune in next week. I would love, for it to, yeah, I just think this is so cool. And it's funny because there's like 3 parts of this video, and each part, she's got like canned laughter and really horrible knock jokes that are included, which I have clamshell. Oh, you've shrunk clamshell plastic. Okay, all righty. Well, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to very carefully, we have to invert it on a bowl. Now, this bowl has a story. Doesn't everything have a story? This bowl is, well, I probably got this bowl when I was about 7 years old. So 7 from 54 years ago. This was my Davy Crockett cereal bowl. There he is. Davy Crockett. And that's what I was using. Hi. Oh, she's saying hi. So this goes here and I can let it continue to dry. She actually goes like this and then sticks it in the bowl. But I think I'm just going to leave it outside the bowl just to be on the safe side. But that's my Davy Crockett bowl. Had cereal in there. I had a coonskin cap too. I love me some Dave Fess Parker, right? I think, yeah. Aha, Janice, you said it. Yeah, Fess Parker. Fess up, Fess Parker. Yeah. All right, let me put this down here, out of the way. Whoops. So then, as I was strolling through, I got to read. So excited about showing you that. Now, I've got a preface for this week's reading, all right? I haven't read this one before. I've read it, but I've never read it out loud. I have never read it to the group, so to speak, because I'm afraid it might offend some people. It doesn't offend me at all. Hi, Miriam. And he is an ordained minister, but he takes a rather interesting take on Mary's father. And so I'm going to read it, and if it offends anybody or you don't feel it's respectful, I feel he means it in all good faith. And that's my opinion. So I think it's hysterical, but that's me. And I've got a kind of a warped sense of humor. So anyway, here we go. It's called Mary's Dad. I wonder about Jesus's maternal grandfather, Mary's dad. He's never mentioned, but he must have existed. Whatever your theological position, the Bible was peopled with human beings just like the rest of us. Imagine, Mary's dad comes home from work one day. His wife and his teenage daughter are sitting at the kitchen table. His wife looks grim. The very air of the room feels heavy. Mary has her head in her arms, weeping. Welcome home, Daddy. So? She's pregnant, moans the wife. So? Joseph, I suppose? They're betrothed after all. Oh, no, that would be too easy. Your daughter doesn't do easy. Who then? She says. I swear to God, she says, get this, an angel of the Lord came to me in the night. She claims a guy wearing feathers snuck into her room and did what he did. Right? Not only that, she says the baby's real father is God. Right? What do you mean, right? Did you hear what I said? Actually, no. The father has not really been paying attention. This day in crisis reporting happens all the time. He comes home tired from work. His wife and daughter are having a scene in the kitchen. She says this, she did that, I did not, she said you did, yada, yada, yada. Suddenly, the father's brain recognizes what his ears have heard. What the hell did you say? It wasn't the last time he said that. For years afterwards, it was the same. Jesus' maternal grandfather would come home from work. His wife would be waiting. Well, Grandpa, guess what he did today, your grandson? Water into wine, walking on water, loaves and fishes, healing here, healing there, and all the rest, yada, yada, yada. It must have made it hard for the old man to sit quietly by while the rest of his friends bragged about their grandchildren. That's nothing, he would say. Wait until you hear this. You won't believe it. And they never did. I can testify on this score. Nobody ever believes what a grandfather says about his grandchildren. Nobody even wants to know. And it must be even worse if you claim your grandson is the anointed one and the Son of God who walks on water, right? Okay. I'm glad I didn't offend anybody because I think, I love the way he kind of makes it like modern. Like, yeah, Mary had a dad and you wonder what they must have thought about this. Yes, I'm loving the yada, 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 yeah. Okay, good. All right. I see a lot of laughing and, okay. All right. I thought maybe I had, and then I didn't write I had, so I'm going to write red. Okay. 6, what is it, 18. All right. Thank you, Gail. Oh, you saw it. All righty. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, it isn't completely, yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Poor guy. But it's true. No, it's like who wants, no one wants to hear about the grandkids, I mean, it's hard not to talk about the grandkids, right? All righty. So, the next thing I came across was, and you're going to ask me her name, and I don't remember, but it is Treasure to Trash. And she makes a junk journal, and I'm going to make a junk journal. She made hers out of one of those like cardboard mailer things that you get from Amazon. And I had one of those, and then I decided that I was going to make mine out of a different cardboard. I have discovered a new vodka. I've been a Tito vodka fan for years and years and years, and I went to the liquor store a couple of weeks ago, and the salesman there asked me whether I'd ever tried Tower vodka, and I said no. And he said, well, it's also a handcrafted vodka from Texas. And he said, would you like a sample? And I said, sure. So I had a sample, and it was really good. It was actually, I thought it was a little bit smoother than Tito's. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, thumbs up would be awesome. Thank you so much. And so but the box, I loved the box. And so I saved the box. And so I've made the outside of the junk journal out of the box. So the box, look at this. It's got this like architectural kind of drawing on it. Isn't that cool? And this is Tower Vodka. And so I took the box apart. Did he card you? No, he didn't. The last time that's funny you should say that. The last time I was carded, I was 45. So, and I just said, oh, thank you so much for carding me. And it was at a Pizza Hut. And so here's some more of isn't this cool? I love the architecture stuff. And so this is what I saved. So this is going to be the outside. And I have, let's see, it goes this way. Okay. So this is going to flap over here. I'm probably going to make this, heck with the booze. We want the box. Yes. When I saw it, I mean, they had a display of this out on the counter, and I didn't even see the box until he grabbed me a case, and I went, oh, I'm thinking to myself, I was all excited about the box. I didn't say anything to the guy because he would probably think I was totally, this goes like, this came off. This is kind of what it looks like. But isn't that cool? Can you see? Isn't that a cool box? The Tito's box is boring. So there, Tower Vodka. Triple distilled. It's a corn vodka, not a potato vodka from Texas. But anyway, I love the box. So I'm going to recycle the box. Yes, right. There you go. What a great stamp the cork would be. Yeah. And the other thing, when you buy your wine or booze by the case, the inserts, that is the most perfect cardboard to use for tags. It's great. You can do all sorts with those with the inserts. So, all right. So, and I went and got some stuff, and she made. So I think that looks pretty cool. A little bit. You can't. Let me zoom out a little bit. Just seems like I'm too close. Adjustments. Let's see. I lost. Where's the zoom? I'm sorry. No, I don't want to do that. It's not filters. It's adjustments. Huh. It's not filters. Okay. Why are you being? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me come. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right. Okay. So, and then I went through my stash. And boy, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff. Hi, Nettie. Hi, Aunt Bex. Oh, my doll. Oh man. She needs some emergency treatment. I tried to put her head on, and oh man, well, it's not pretty. Yeah, it's not pretty. I made wire rim glasses for her though. So if I have time, I will. I mean, I know that. I mean, I could cut her head off, right, and then reattach it. Hi, Scott. Is Scott here too? Do I get? I just wanted to say hi. You have to go see mom-in-law, right? So, anyway, I've got some papers, and I went through some of my stash, and I've got a lot of like beautiful. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can fix it. I know, yeah. So I have a lot of this stuff that I've bought over the years. Oh, he's driving, okay. And I've never used it. I buy it. Buy these beautiful paper packs from Zandra and from other people. And coffee dyed, tea dyed, and then I never use it. And I figure, well, that's stupid. No, you're going to see her tomorrow. So I'm going to use it now. Isn't this pretty? And we've got some tea dyed steno pads. And I love this. Look at that. That's my kind of list. Get shit done. Noteworthy shit. Isn't that hysterical? And the name of this is Bliss Collections. Oh, look, it's got water intake. That's cool. Priorities for today. Huh. So we're going to start folding some of this in half. And it smells good, too. Smell is yummy. It smells like coffee. Coffee. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, bookcases. That's good. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that awesome? Stationery? Yeah. And the name of the company is Bliss. And I think this pack was from Sandra. Yeah, Zandra, right? And I bought this probably a couple of years ago, I'm sure. It was a big pack of all sorts of, had to go to Home Depot, yeah. And this is some dyeing that I did, and that it was coffee. You would think it was avocado the way it's pinkish, but it's not. I don't think so. And so this is some of the other stuff that was in that pack. So we're going to make 2 signatures. And I've got some envelopes here. I'm probably going to stick those in there. And maybe I will open those. And this is going to look really weird, huh? This is white on rice. Well, that's okay. It'll be fine. Let's see. I know. I've got to use this stuff. It's ridiculous. And I was going through some other baskets that I have in the other room. And they're just chock full of great images that I have pulled out and, harvested from magazines over the years. And they're great. I should just start gluing them down onto other pieces, gluing them. I don't know. You put them in a folder, you're not going to use them. There's always that that question is, how do you store that stuff? I stored it by animals and human parts and things like that. Then I decided to store them by size, small, medium, and large. And that's kind of how they are categorized now, as small, medium, large. Look at this neat map. Indian Hots, Bryce. I wonder if that is Utah. Freeze Out Mountain. Bonito, Big Bonito, Black River. That looks like White Mountain Reservation. Baldy Peak. Huh. So I'm going to use those. And here's the key. Easton Redmond Radio, non-directional radio beacon. Huh. Danger area. Uh-oh. Well, someone marked this. And anyway, I'll use those. Let's see, you know what it is. Collecting art supplies, completely different hobby. You know what? I think you're right. I think that's a good point. It is a completely different hobby than using them. I think that's a brilliant observation. Never thought of it that way, Barbara, but they are 2 separate things for sure. Absolutely 2 separate things. Collecting and using. Good point. Absolutely. And this is an old ad. I made a copy of the original contour molded three-piece matched luggage, and that's how people look when they travel. I mean, I'm old enough to remember people got all dressed up when they went traveling, high heels, the whole 9 yards, and men had jackets and ties on. And now you're lucky if they're wearing, sweatpants that don't have holes in them. But I was told by buy things to use, but get frozen and don't want to use it. Oh, God. It is Samsonite luggage. Isn't this the one where they used to drop it out of a plane, or they had a gorilla throw it out of the plane, or they did some weird thing with their luggage? And this isn't that's not the hard plastic molded stuff. That's kind of yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, you're all dressed up to go shopping downtown. Absolutely. My mom she dressed up to my standard. An elephant would step on it, okay? My standards, my mom was dressed up all the time. I mean, I don't think she owned a pair of jeans until she was in her 70s. That was Samsung. No, Samsung is an electronics company. What is this? What is that? It's not Samsung, is it? Now I can't think of anything else but Samsonite. Samsonite. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say something about how pointy they were, but they are a little pointy. I mean, you could poke an eye out. Those are dangerous. Hi, Barbara Clark. We're talking about this woman's pointy boobs and how dangerous they are. Samsonite, that's it. Okay. Designed to go to fashionable places. Okay. Whether you jet to Rome or take an overnight trip to the country, you'll enjoy the elegance and beauty of this lightweight three-piece matched ensemble. Choice of traveled lovely colors: charcoal gray, Tahitian tan, and Wedgwood blue. And she's wearing an 18. Yeah, oh, I'm sure she is. And she's got some spiky high heels on too. Yeah. Wow. And this is covered with lifetime no scuff vinyl, contour molded for greater strength, increased capacity, streamlined beauty, deluxe quilted French crepe linings, full roomy pockets, chrome polished hardware, lock and keys, dust-proof construction. So there you go. I think Samsonite's still in business, right? All right. Those ads. I've got some like a Look magazine. I've got some I have a Look magazine from the 1950s, and the ads are they're rather risque. I'll stick this here, and we got that. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We'll stick that here. All right. Oh, I need two of these. All right, this will go here, like so. And then, let's see, this will go. Like so. Like so. This is interesting. I usually make my rag doll has lost her head. She has a head, but I screwed it up. But Miriam had little dolls today, right? Miriam, you had little dolls, and I got impatient and I jumped ahead, and that's funny. Read what Barb said. Yes, back in the day, teenage boys used to sneak the Sears catalog to check out the lingerie pages, and National Geographic. Yes, with all those women with their boobies. Mm-hmm. That's true. This is true. This is true. Well, didn't they used to use the Sears Roebuck catalog as, because the paper was so thin that they would hang it in the outhouse and they'd use it as toilet paper too. A little rough. And my grandparents, they would get grapefruits or oranges from Florida for Christmas, and those individual sheets of tissue paper that would wrap the fruit, they would save that and they would use that as toilet paper. Ouch. That's all I can say is talk about a sore butt. Love the day plan pages. Yeah, yes. Get her done. Get her done. Get the shit done. Oh, I'm kidding. Gail's brother got in big trouble when he took a photo from the National Geographic to school. First of all, he defiled the National Geographic. Those were, you're not supposed to cut national. It took me a long time to cut up a National Geographic. It was like something that you just did not do. You did not cut up National Geographics, no matter what. Let's see. I was curious too, but my liking wasn't. I don't know that word. I don't know that word. I can't even pronounce it. It's not I don't know that word. Oh, your internet's bad today? Okay. Estimagtis. Okay. Oh, Barb's looking it up. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, gotcha. Translation thing. Oh, I can't spell worth a damn. All I can say is I thought I died and gone to heaven when they invented spell check. I had a student that turned in the paper and every other word was underlined in red. And I said to him, how can you turn this paper in? Now, he's the one that I would want to put that seriously stamp on the paper. I said, how could you turn this in? Every other word is underlined in red. I know. I said, don't you have spell check, turned on your computer? I don't know. Well, he didn't. I don't know how to spell. I said, well, that's why there's spell check. He had never turned stigmatized. Gotcha. All righty. He'd never turned the spell check on his computer. And then we did that, and that changed the whole complexity of his stigmatized. Gotcha. All righty. That makes more sense. Okay. All right. Excellent. Let's see. I'll stick this in here too. Let's see. Anyway, I was saying, this is I have to say, this is the first time I've made a junk journal out of papers. I normally make my junk journals out of junk mail. So this is kind of different for me. This is actually with paper. So I've got some of this here. Within the stuff. I know, that's what I used to say to my mom all the time. Because I'd ask her, my mother was a phenomenal speller. My father could not spell. And they would do the crossword puzzle, and she'd get so mad at him because he would misspell the words, and she just could spell. I mean, I think it's some people are better spellers than others, and then that's what I always same thing, Beth. Well, look it up. And I'm like, well, how can I look it up if I don't know how to spell it? Well, sound it out. Well, sounding out a word in English is not, because we have all of those crazy, like knife. If you didn't know that there's a KN. And I used to get that same thing. Look it up. How can I look it up if I don't know how to spell it? That was an ongoing argument in my house. I'm going to show you how I did that. Did anybody watch Lena yesterday? Because she was phenomenal as usual. But she recommended that we got talking about Harry and Meghan, right? And basically what idiots they are. And she recommended she recommended a YouTube person, and I went to her website, and I can't remember. It was Lady Colin something else, and I can't remember her last name. And I went to her YouTube channel yesterday, and she had just uploaded 2 hours prior to when. So what I listened to her yesterday was current. It was like she just uploaded it a couple of hours previously. Oh my God. And as Lena said, she's a very proper English lady, obviously has, is ins with the royals, she's up on the royals and everything. And she just ripped Meghan and Harry a new one, and it was hysterical. Oh, I never laughed so hard in my life. My mom was a high school English, and English came easy to me. Everyone said it was because she was a teacher, but she never taught. Yeah. Math is horrible. I struggled with math. Absolutely. I had a lot of trouble with math. Thank you, Barbara. I know. Oh, did you listen? I guess obviously she hates Meghan. What'd she call him? Megsy? And H? Yeah. She really went after Meggie. She had her Megsy. She had some name for her. She was talking about how lazy she is. Oh, and she was talking about I guess they did it. Oh no, what did they do? They did an interview for, I measured that, and obviously not well. Damn it, sorry. I can just whack that off. I'll just whack that off. That's what we'll do. We'll just whack her right off. I guess she supposedly did an interview for some publication. I can't remember now what it was. Do you remember, Barbara? And they said that Meghan, how uncooperative she was, and she didn't even complete half the interviews, and she would show up late, and they really blame her. They say that he got hoodwinked by her, and they really thought that once she married him, that Hollywood would open its doors to her. Oh, okay. All right. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know her. Don't know. Gail, you're being very, very nice and mature and reasonable. And yeah. Do they have any kids yet? I don't even know where they're living. Are they in California or are they in Canada? I don't even know where they are. Ah, that's good. Our propensity for hatefulness. All right, that's what I had to do. I have to whack that off. Sorry about that. All right, hopefully that'll work. They're in California? Okay. They have 2 kids already? Jeez, it seems like they just got married. Wow. Here's this Timmy ruler that I just found out recently. It has a strip of metal in it. Never knew that. So you can cut with it and not ruin it. Jeez. I think I should change the blade, don't you? There. I cannot cut anything sitting down. Lilibeth. Oh, that is a pretty name. You saw her in some Netflix series. Oh, okay. Huh. Did not know that. I was watching that series, The Crown, and I don't think I saw the last season of that. All right, let's see. How are we doing here? This should go here. Okay, much better. All righty, much better. All righty, now I'm going to do this. 2 signatures. Let's see. Do the old, like so. Put one there, right? Bye, Chris. Thanks for stopping by. Got some chores to do. Okay. Yes, that was that's from the new brand of liquor. I mean, the new brand of vodka. I was just as excited about the new brand of vodka as I was about the case that it came in. Isn't that neat stuff? Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. It's called Tower Vodka. The guy at Total Wine suggested I try it. Isn't that neat? It's really cool. All right. So we'll sew that in. So I have a little thingy here. I'm kind of excited about that bowl of laughter thingy. I can't wait to work on that and show that to you guys next week. This is the little bookbinding kit that I bought on Amazon a while ago, and it's really nice. It has a whole bunch of waxed threads, and I must have taken all the needles out. They must be hiding somewhere else. Oh, I have them right here. I got the waxed thread. So we're going to go like so. That's they always do that, and I always have a ton of stuff left over. Yeah, I love corrugated cardboard. It's good stuff. Let me get a needle over here. Here we go. Wow. Look at that needle. That's like a weapon. I don't think I need that. Oh my God. Speaking of needles, I was looking at the Doll needle. Holy mackerel. Amazing. I was watching a channel on doll making, and the woman had a doll needle, and they're about that long. That's serious stuff. All right. See, I can't do this sitting down. I have to stand. What did I do? Again, I very rarely ever make junk journals out of papers. It's usually out of junk mail. I don't get that. I'm not complaining, believe me. I don't get that much junk mail anymore, which is a good thing. It seems like. Check your live button. Me? Am I not live? Stick my thumb there. From here, just going to do the simple 3. The only problem, these are really thick, Miriam, and you'd have to, they won't go through the beads. I mean, their beads are, unless you have one of those other things, those little wire things that you can string the beads on. Well, come on. There. I'm just doing the threesome. Come through here. Oops. There you go. All right. And I want to be on the other side of that, like so. All righty. The nice thing about the wax thread, it doesn't slip on you, it kind of stays put. When you try to tie it, it doesn't get all squirrely. Because you'd think I would be able to grab it. Come here, you. Oh, my Lord. Well, I talked to my girlfriend, Nancy, 2 nights ago. It was her birthday. We talked to one another at least on our birthdays. And I think I've told you about Nancy. We met the first day of kindergarten. So we've known each other for a very long time. Because we both now are 74. I turned 74 in March, and Nancy turned 74 this past week. And that reminds me. Did anybody here happen to watch the Tony Awards last Sunday night? It's something that I normally would not watch, but I was watching. I had the TV on. It must have been after I streamed. And the Canadian Open, I like watching golf. It's right up there. And I think I'll stick this here, and then if I want, I can stick another one here. But the Canadian Open was unbelievable. They were tied. The 2 top players, they were tied at the end of the match, and they had to play. They played the last 3 holes 4 times before they were able to break the tie. When it's tied, they go back and then they play the 17th, 8th, 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th, I think. And then if they're still tied, then they go back and play them again and again. So they did this 4 times before they finally broke the tie. And the gentleman that won was a Canadian. And it was the first time a Canadian had won the Canadian Open in 60 some odd years. So it was pretty exciting. Yeah, I enjoyed the emotions of that and the excitement for this golfer, this Canadian golfer, winning the Canadian Open. I think they were playing out in Ontario, I do believe. But it went into what would normally be the 60 minutes. So after the Open, the Canadian Open, it went right to the Tony Awards. The Tony Awards are, Broadway's awards for Broadway shows and stuff. And it was the 76th year for the Tony Awards. 76 years. But what was so spectacular was this was live, a live performance from a beautiful theater in Washington Heights, New York City, and totally unscripted because of the writer's strike. The only 2 cameras that were in the theater were on either side of the auditorium, and all it had was a 30-second timer on it. So it would tell them if they had when the person got up, there was a timer on them, and they wanted them to try to wrap it up in 30 seconds. And I was just blown away. And there was a revival of New York, and Camelot that I was aware of. But the point to this rambling story is there was a point in time in my life where Nancy and I would have known every single one of those shows and probably would have seen at least half of them. Because when we were teenagers growing up, we used to go into New York City every weekend, almost every Saturday. We would go into New York City and we would buy what they sold were standing room only tickets. And we get to stand in the back of the theater until intermission. And at intermission, we could literally take any seat that wasn't claimed at intermission, because they figured if the people weren't there by intermission, they weren't coming. So we saw a lot of plays on Broadway. And then for my birthday, I would ask for 2 tickets for a show. And for Christmas, I would ask for 2 tickets for a show. And then Nancy would do the same thing. So that's just when I watched the Tonys, I said to her, man, there was a time when we would have known all those shows. Probably had seen half of them. I see you're talking about cable. Yeah. A lot of people are cutting the cable, cutting the cord. Cable's included in my, I guess you'd call it my HMO. Not really an HMO, but kind of. So I have no choice. But since this community is so large, they usually get a pretty good deal from the cable company. They just announced that they signed the contract with Spectrum, another contract, and that the cable price was going to go down. And then we were going to get more. And I pay $5 a month for my internet and cable. And the $5 a month is for my modem. I'm too lazy to buy my own modem, so I'm paying $5 a month to rent their modem. Otherwise, it's not free. It's coming out of my, my monthly HMO or whatever. Okay, Gail says, well, I have cable still for my internet, but now just have streaming channels. Yeah, there's a lot of, a lot of other options now. You've got Peacock. And And you've got Paramount. I don't know what Paramount costs. I think I pay for a little bit for Peacock because I can't stand the commercials. And but there's what, Tubi and Hulu. Tubi, I think, is free. Someone was talking about Tubi. Tubi or not Tubi? That is the question. No, that's not Tubi. And Hulu. I can't stand the commercials. I just don't have any patience for commercials anymore. And now that some crafters who have monetized, some of the commercials on YouTube are like every 3 minutes. So, I mean, I understand, you gotta make the money somewhere. But does anybody remember back in the day, TBS, their TV shows would come on like at 5:35 instead of 5:30. Their shows would be on at 5:35 or 7:05, and that they would show their commercials at the beginning, and then they would have the programming. I don't know how many people, watch the commercials. I mean, the only commercials that are worth watching are the Super Bowl commercials. Let's see. We got rid of cable a few years ago. Oh my gosh. Okay, Peacock, Netflix, Acorn. Yeah, I want to get BritBox. I keep on saying that, and I actually looked into it. It's not that bad. There's a lot of Brit shows I would like to watch. Well, I think that's where it's going, don't you? Where it's going to become a la carte, where you pick and choose what you want, and then who the hell wants to watch the news? You know what I mean? Nobody in their right mind wants to watch the news. Hi, Sophia. I am feeling 100% better. I am. Thank you so much. Kick that booger out the door. All right, so this is the journal. And there's the cover with the really neat Tower Vodka cover. Oh, well, I watch a lot of that too, Gail. I really do, unfortunately. So, there. So now, you're wondering what's next. Aha. Okay. I'm going to scuff it up. The regular network news is often available. Oh, is it? I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Tower, it's Tower Vodka is the name of the company. So if I put this here, if I put this with this isn't that cool? Look at that. How exciting is that? I was excited when I saw the box, when he got the gum box down. But there is isn't that cool? I love this typography. I love this print. I love the architecture thing. It's just a really cool box. Oh my God. Well, Gail, that's pretty much the only one I'm watching TV. That's the only channel I watch is MSNBC. It's interesting. That's it. All right. So I'm going to rough this up and I'm going to throw some gesso on it. And then I'm going to actually draw. No, it's not as cool as Power Vodka. That's pretty, that's a good point. Power up, power up. I'm going to draw a face for you. Kind of a Dina Wakley style face. I don't normally draw in public, but I'm going to tonight for you guys because that's part of what I want to do. And so I'm going to do that. But I'm going to throw some gesso down here. And I do too. Yeah. Me too. So I'm going to slap some gesso down. And we can. So this is. Well, that's not too bad. Do I gotta? Oh, that gap's not that bad. I could, if I needed to, I could slip another one. In. Oh, her podcasts, oh gosh, they're so well researched. Whew. Talk about really doing your homework. Well, when we lived outside of Buffalo, we didn't have cable, so we had a gigantic rotating antenna on our roof, and it had a motor on it, and when you hit the button and the antenna would rotate around and it would pick up channels, right? So we watched a lot of, since we were only about 2 hours from Toronto, we watched a lot of Canadian news. And my kids watched Canadian Sesame Street, and which was half in French and half in English. So they ended up taking French when they went to school because they were watching, instead of counting in Spanish, the count would count in French. So we watched a lot of Canadian news. And we'd rotate that antenna around until we picked up Canada. All right, I'm going to slap on this real quick. North, south, east, west, Canadian channels. Oh, you do in Michigan too? All right. Oh, I know. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Well, a lot of people supported Hitler. Hi, Amber. Charles Lindbergh, a lot of American industrialists sent money and supported Hitler before they knew, what he was doing. But they supported him because the Nazis promised to keep communism out of Germany. And this is, we had the Red Scare here in this country. People and Americans were absolutely terrified of communism. And Hitler said, if you support me, I'll keep communism out of Germany. And then the horror show began, and a lot of people thought he was okay. Obviously, he wasn't. Okay, I want to do, this is going to be, I'm not going to leave that way. Let's see. I want to do a painting. And let's see. Yeah, this is going to be much wetter than I thought it would be. Yeah. Well, you have to wonder, as I often do. Hitler wanted to be an artist, and he applied to the Vienna School of Art, and they rejected him. But I wonder how different history would have been if he had been accepted to art school. I guess some of his watercolors still exist in private collections. Wouldn't that be creepy to have a watercolor done by Hitler? I think that would be really creepy. And then they arrested him, before he came to power. And they let him out like early on good behavior. So there were a lot of missteps. Ooh, a cantaloupe. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I had a cantaloupe. Do you put salt when you eat cantaloupe? Do you put a little salt on your cantaloupe? Because I always put a little salt on my cantaloupe. It seems to make it sweeter. Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, this is a visual for you folks. I don't know whether Beth's still here, but here's a visual for you. Last Thursday, Beth popped into my chat room, and there was Beth in all her splendor, reclining and eating watermelon. It was quite fun to see Beth enjoying her watermelon. I think all of us were going, ooh, watermelon. And she had this beautiful slices of chunks of watermelon. And she was almost like, Cleopatra, or somebody eating someone's seedless grapes, that someone had peeled grapes for her, but she had these gorgeous watermelon. And now that they have seedless watermelon, which is awesome, but as kids, spitting out the watermelon seeds at your friends was always part of the fun, right? But it looked really good. It really looked luscious. And I didn't realize, other than if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, I didn't realize it was. But watermelon, I always just thought watermelon was just mostly water, right? Well, there's a yuck out there for watermelon. Really? It really doesn't have that strong of a, flavor. Cantaloupe is good. Cassava, is that a melon? Well, what we used to do, of course we did, right? We would take the whole watermelon. Someone was telling me that the whole watermelons are ridiculously expensive. We would cut a hole, like a square plug out of the watermelon. And of course, what we did? We then emptied a whole bottle of vodka into the watermelon. Now, this was a big watermelon, okay? A big watermelon. You'd let that thing kind of macerate or fermentate or whatever, and that watermelon, and then it would be alcoholic. It would absorb all of that vodka. Yeah, that's what they. I just don't. Yeah, I know, me and my vodka. Yeah. I guess I've been predominantly. I get a kick out of watching P&M, and Patricia's there sipping her bourbon, and I'm thinking, wow, good for her. Wow. And she has it in a little glass like teacup. I think it's bourbon that she's drinking. Can't even stand the smell of watermelon or vodka. I can understand the vodka, but I don't get the watermelon. All right. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do a face for you folks. Man, I was gonna. But what the woman who does this? Yes, now you need well, you know what? You could go to the liquor store. Go to ABC Liquor Store, Beth. I know you got an ABC Liquor Store up where you are, because they're all over Florida. And ask them for Tower vodka. I mean, because, they break open those cases and they just throw those boxes away. I bet you could land yourself one of these beautiful Tower vodka boxes. I bet you could. In my ABC, they have a walk-in humidor. They throw out the cigar boxes too. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do. All right. Right here, I'm going to draw a face. I'm going to attempt to draw a face. Now, I took copious notes on this. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember. I have these. They're I don't know whether they're crayons. Well, they're water-soluble graphite. And they're really kind of cool. And they come in this pair of 3. And we got 2B or not to be, 6B, 6B or 9. Wow. 9B. So this is really dark. Let's see. Look at that. That's really dark. So you got 9B, 6B, and no, this is 6B. And it's water soluble. So, all right, I'm going to take the dark one. And this is going to be a really rough face. Hi, Malia. So I'm just going to. That's not the dark one. I don't like that. Okay, here we go. All right, Gail. Thanks for being here. I'm going to give her some eyes. This is pretty big. Oh, this is awful, but that's okay, girls. I will. All right. Let me see my notes. Whoops. All right, I know this is going to seem weird, but because we're going to have rosy cheeks, right? All right, let's see. A little blue. Okay. little bit of what I do with that. How's everybody doing? Yes, it does. Marlene, yep. Yes, the red eye. You got it. You's got it. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. Lily. Lily. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where's my thingy? All right. Let's see. What goes? Let's see. Yellow, blue. See what they're using this. That's gonna, yeah. Gonna activate that. And then, let's see. No. Huh. I want purple. Where's the purple? Huh. It's hiding on me. I got a little tiny itsy bitsy watercolor set over here. There you go. All right. It's a little one of these field artist. I know what it needs. I need a little gesso over the cheeks. The cheeks are too red. Way too much vodka. Yeah, I think so. I think so. That's a good observation. Who? Her or me? Ah ha ha. You saying I've had any? I haven't had anything to drink yet. Are you kidding me? Huh. Yeah. Good night, Barb. Thanks for stopping by. Now, there's someone that is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to music, right? I don't think I've ever known anybody that can just rattle off lyrics to hundreds of songs. No matter what we're talking about, she knows the lyrics. It's just amazing. It blows my mind. She knows them. She knows them all. Well, that's not what I really was hoping for, but it kind of looks like a face. It's colorful. It looks like, yeah. I mean, you could do faces, like little faces throughout the book if you wanted. The other thing that the her book had a lot of faces in it. I would never think, actually, I think there's some green that, I mean, but you forget, I mean, you can put any color. I don't think of those colors on your face, but why not, right? Why not? You can put any colors that you want. Needs more purple, I think. A little more purple there. Yeah. Yeah. And these little water brushes, with the water in them, they're nice and they're handy. A little green in here, some green up here. Right? What the heck? All right. There. Maybe a little bit more yellow here. Oops. Ah. All right. So there's my lady, for better or for worse. And I've had this set it came with a little sponge. And it even came with, aren't these adorable? Look at these. Ah. Came with these little tiny paintbrushes. Oh, okay. The tonal value is correct. Oh. That makes sense. See, I shouldn't have done that. Oh. Well, that's why, I know probably all of you in here have done that exercise where you look at it upside down, and then you draw it upside down, and your brain, you're just drawing the lines, and your brain, that's from drawing on the right side of your brain or left side of the brain, by Betty Edwards, I think. Hi, Devin. I took her, all of a sudden, several years ago, her entire course ended up on YouTube. And I don't know, drawing from I always get them up backwards because, but the drawing upside down is amazing. I've got the workbook and I've got the book, and I went through the whole thing, and somewhere along the lane, well, for me, that was one of the first art books I ever bought, and that would have been probably in 2014. I was still working, and on YouTube, where it was her teaching it, and I don't know whether that meant whether someone had pirated that or not, but I think I went through almost the whole book on YouTube, and just amazing. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, I'm going to leave it alone. Otherwise, I'm really going to frig her up. All right. So anyway, she went through the book, and she did this quick little sketch. And she also threw down some gesso and, went through with crayons and, just kind of, sometimes you're intimidated. And Dee Dee does this. You go through a book and just add some color just so it's not so intimidating. But I don't find this isn't intimidating. Boy, does this smell good. Whew. It smells so coffee-ish. My mother never liked coffee. She loved the smell of it, but never liked the taste of it. All right. So what I thought I was going to do is, where did we go? I was going to make a pocket using the rest of this. So that's what I put a pocket on. Oh, that's good. Yeah. 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 I did that in art class with my daughter one time. Yeah, the drawing upside down, it's amazing. And the one that she uses in the book is it's a Picasso ink drawing of Stravinsky, I think. And it's amazing because your brain, you're just drawing the lines. And I guess the other really good exercise is contour drawing, where you're not really, you're just looking at the lines. You're not. Okay, Candy, thanks for stopping by. It was great seeing you. Candy's an art teacher, I think, or an art aide. I think it's, I think a lot of schools are not teaching art like they used to, which is very unfortunate, very sad. And I don't know about public schools. Where I taught at that private school, they had a very robust art program, and they had a ceramics program where they had the whole potter wheels and their own kiln and everything, and they had an incredible art teacher. I think she's still there. So I think that'll make a nice little pocket. Yeah, I think I'll use some double-sided tape. I got some, I bought some Uno. No, not Uno. Uno's a card game. What the hell's the name of that German glue stick? The yellow stuff. Uhu, not Uno. God, Uno. Oh, you're all right, Ann. It's a good thing I haven't had anything to drink. Uhu. Finally almost done with this. I bought like a big box of this, 60 of these little suckers. Oh, okay. Well, I thank you for letting me know. Ooh, it's expensive. This stuff is okay, and if you put enough of it on, but I guess if you put hi Andrea, if you put enough of anything on, it'll work. But I got the big sticks of the Uhu, and it was 6 big sticks for $15 on Amazon-y. And the other thing I bought, Barb Clark, I bought the Pantone cards. Did you buy them? Janet bought them. I hung out for a long time. I bought them. And okay. Oh, it's 11. Yep. And tomorrow's the beginning of another week. Have a good week, Safia. Sleep well. Barbara Clark, did you buy the Pantone cards? You got the purple one? Yeah, you think it's 20. Well, at least, I mean, I don't know what it is in Canada, but here in the States, it's $20 for 100 cards. I think that's really. You almost got the. Oh yes. I'm going to collage on them. I know what I'm going to do. There's a collage artist that I've started following, and I gave out everybody the wrong name. Her name is not Franzella. It's Flan, FLANZELLA, and she has done beautiful collages on the cards, and actually mounted them on blocks of wood, and they are really cool. Are you talking some hardware stores? Well, actually, depends, I guess. I know Walmart actually has them for free. But I might use them as postcards. Yeah. Well, and it's 100. She said it was 100-day. I'm just gonna do it at my leisure. Speaking of 100-day collage, I finished that. I finished the 100-day collage challenge by Freuly Arts. I finished it. Yes, I did. I will show you the pages, the last pages that completed that. But I did. I finished it. So I bought them. And what else did I buy? Well, I had a little splurge the other day. Well, and I don't know how this is going to work out, but I bought a point and shoot digital camera to use instead of my Logitech webcam. I'm hoping to get a better picture, even though this picture doesn't look that bad. So, seeing I gave her 7 weeks notice, but yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, that's right, Brenda. You're moving far, far away, aren't you? Like across the country? This will make a nice little pocket. I should probably do a little thingy here. Yeah. I know what I'll do. Lily, no. I'm not feeding you. You've been fed. Get lost, little one. No, there was no thunderstorms today, which was good. Yesterday, it was wicked. I mean, Beth had some wicked thunderstorms, and we had some wicked. We had the severe. And then there was a picture on the Weather Channel. A water spout came ashore somewhere in Florida, and people were standing right at the edge of the water watching this water spout come up. They were standing there looking at it. It's a freaking baby tornado. People are stupid. Sorry. Standing there looking at it. And it blew up. You know, they had all these little, little cabana things all on the beach. And those things were all airborne. And 2 people had to go to the hospital because of flying debris. You know, you're supposed to kind of get out of the way of that shit if you can. Not stand there and watch it. And Beth, I don't know whether you follow all week, yeah. But unfortunately, there is talk of the H word already. They're calling it a rarely seen storm developing. And it will be named Brett. Because we've already had Arlene. It's too early for that crap. Yes, and I trained the guy taking my place with the grade school kids, and he hired in as full-time. It's only 3 days, and he is ready to take. Oh, okay. All right. My oldest son is leaving for, yeah, it's brewing. Yeah. I know. Well, that's what they said. It is early. It's rare. Hurricane season, not that the weather, follows any calendar. Hurricane season technically is June 30th to November 30th. So. I just don't want it. It's all stressful, right? Very stressful. Well, that wasn't good. Oh, well, that's okay. Now, I've lived in Florida for 23 years. And have lived through several, my share of hurricanes, that's for sure. And tropical storm. We had Tropical Storm Faye. And Tropical Storm Faye literally dropped 28 inches of rain, like right over where we lived. And we have underground utilities, which are great, except that when you lose your electricity, they can't get to the underground electricity when it's underwater. That became a problem. So we lost our electricity for a couple of days. The water came up our driveway, up within 6 feet of the garage, and there were carp swimming up the sidewalk. These gigantic carp were swimming, and the sandhill cranes were having a field day. They were spearing these fish, and there were carp and probably snakes and all other horrible, creepy things. The fire hydrants were underwater. Yeah, it was quite a lot of rain. And the parking lot at school was completely submerged. And at the time, I had a little Mazda Miata, which sits about 4 inches off the floor, off the road. And even after the water subsided, I couldn't go to school because I couldn't get up. I couldn't drive because the water was still too high for my little car. And so that was not too smart, Ann, but that's okay. Only skinny stuff's going to go in there. Skinny stuff. Yeah, carp. Yeah. Yeah. Mother Nature is pissed. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. I hate to say that, but carp up the sidewalk, yes. And they were big carp because I went out went out and walked in that stuff. How stupid is that? Pretty stupid, Ann. Yeah, pretty stupid. I got this Janet Young did a dangle a couple of weeks ago for me, and also included some goodies, and as did Beth and her group sent me some beautiful goodies too. Little get well, which was much appreciated. Yeah. So it's always fun to get stuff, right? All righty. So this is got a pocket. Need some sort of closure. You could do the thing here with the elastic. I like that, when you just kind of put that there and then kind of do it around like so. For now, I'm going to do a rubber band until I figure out what let me show you the last pages of the, wouldn't you know it's at the bottom of the pile? Of course it is. Of course it's at the bottom of the pile. I think I only had two prompts left to do when I left you guys last week. Again, this was a 100-day collage challenge by Freuly Arts. There were 14 7-day prompts. So each prompt was 7 days worth of those prompts, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, come on. Really? All right. So here's the, and this was in this was a dot grid black journal that Carol, Canadian artisan Carol, gave me a while ago. And it had 100 pages. And so this was it. So it's done. Done, done, done. Yvette. Yvette. Hi, Yvette. I don't know Yvette. Should I know Yvette? Can you hear the sandhill cranes? They're fighting. It's amazing. You see these two guys go at it. They jump up in the air and they flap their wings at one another. It's two males. And they're having a territorial thing almost every afternoon, every night. They're out there fighting over the territory. All right. So, and I think the last, let's see, the last two I had to do was time and travel. And everyone, you've all seen, I'm not going to bore you again. You've all seen, but the prompts were doors, bridges, stairs, steps, birds, feathers, trees, leaves, floral, time, travel, numbers, music, rainbow, the colors of the rainbow, shapes, textures, and aerial views. And so the last two were time and travel. So this was the beginning of the travel, and this is whited out, but it's why we travel, and that comes out of the travel magazine. And let's see. So this is my little, it's your heart that takes you places, why we travel, another. So I just cut out pictures that had anything to do with travel. Women who travel, that's a great podcast. Little collage, I guess. Traveling. And this is time, obviously. Time is on my side. Oh, yes, it is. Big Ben. And got kind of a Dolly-esque. And this is a neat thing, a quote, I guess. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. Time. So, lots of watches. You look at the magazines, and it's like every other page is a watch magazine. But this one is my favorite. I'm sending one of these to Janet Nash to add to her next fairy journal. Look at that. Isn't that a neat watch? Can you imagine? Isn't that gorgeous? Does anyone watch Not Afraid of Color? I don't know her. I'm not familiar with her, Brenda. And that's the last one. And that starts numbers. Numbers and rainbow and textures. But that's it. I actually finished it. So I'm really happy. Bye, Nettie. Have a good evening. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. Okay. Well, that's all I have. I don't want to. There's another person that her name is oh Lordy, I should have written it down. I actually was a Patreon of hers. She did collage she colored papers and then cut out the papers into leaves and flowers and then did a beautiful floral collage out of colored paper. And it was but I don't want to start that. So I'm gonna leave I'm going to say good night. I appreciate you all being here and listening to me ramble on. And now I have a new journal. I mean, I could do, yeah, I've got collage I could do, but that's okay. That'll be for another night. I've got several journals, junk journals, made out of junk mail that are almost done. I mean, they're almost done, like finished with collage. I'll work on those next week, maybe. Okay, well, everyone be good and take care of yourself and be good. And I'll see you around the internets. And again, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all of you. Good night.